Will it fit? It'll fit, Steve.
Yeah.
You know it'll fit. They're all the same size.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Ham? 60 cycle ham? Is that what we're doing today?
Yeah.
We're doing 60 cycle ham. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 60 cycle ham. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Ham, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing, eating pork products podcast.
The guitar roasting podcast. We kind of are. Kind of are the guitar roasting podcast. And this first one was sent to us by Matt Carnevale.
Matt Carnevale.
Just like I said last week, there would be more Gibson stuff from Matt Carnevale. Here it is at the front of the episode.
Gibson Melody Maker. I've never seen this before.
Well, you don't remember these?
No.
These came out like 2010, 2011, I think.
That's what the ad says. 2011
But
Gibson Explorer Melody Maker Body Husk.
Husk is right.
$333.33 plus $55.55 shipping. The 2011 Gibson Explorer Melody Maker Body Husk. Wonderful project. Guitar has been heavily modified and is poor to fair condition.
I think emphasis on the poor side. Like it's salvageable. Someone could definitely save this.
It has been
and
sanded,
do fun things with it.
stripped, and stained. A side jack route has been added, and as it previously had a Bigsby installed, so there's a bunch of extra holes in the body. Tone holes.
Tone holes, yeah. That's where the tone leaks out.
The neck is straight and feels great. Trust me, I remember this from the last time I had strings on it. Comes with the original Gibson USA gig bag. Well, that's convenient. All right.
I remember these when these came out. Like these were fun little guitars. I think they were smaller bodies. I could be wrong about that, but they came out with this Melody Maker line. I think they had an SG in the line and maybe something else, but it looks a little smaller to me. I have a suspicion this is a little smaller than your standard Explorer.
So I'm assuming you grabbed these two listings.
I did, to compare.
1,100 and basically 1,100 after shipping. This person wants, let's say, $400 for just
they might
body
have
and neck.
They might have gotten it because it's listed as sold.
It is listed as sold.
It had 66 watchers, 846 views. It doesn't say if it got any offers. So I don't know. It could have sold for this price. I could have seen myself buying this for this price in a different time in my life when I didn't have too many guitars. Like I would have seen this as an excellent project starter. But what's been changed on it? Obviously, all the paint has been stripped off. Really kind of rough, loose sanding job on here. You can tell that things that weren't supposed to be round are round now, but not too dramatically. Like it's still salvageable, but you're not going to throw a solid color of paint over this without having to do a bunch of Bondo work. Like that's the reality of it. It's going to look funny if it's not raw wood. I'm assuming they swapped out the bridge posts. I could be totally wrong on that because to do the Bigsby, you'd need an actual like Tune-O-Matic style bridge instead of the wraparound bridge that these originally had. And then they routed out a spot for a neck pickup as well. And then
I don't think that's routed out. I think that's just how the neck joint looks.
You think so?
It's hard to tell.
It is a little small, isn't it?
But that's what I suspect because this is a set neck,
right?
So it wouldn't necessarily. It would kind of look like a pocket there.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's what I think is going on without any actual evidence.
I'm a little bit bummed it doesn't come with the original pickguard because the original pickguards were kind of a really cool cut.
Yeah. That's
but the way this is as is right now, like you're not going to restore it. You're not going to take it back to original.
Okay, so this was in Santa Monica. If you lived in the greater Los Angeles area, you picked this up for $333.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to supply the pickguard, but say you already had a wraparound tailpiece.
Yeah.
You already had some tuners. You need some tuners. You need a pickup. You need a tailpiece. You need a pick guard.
I mean, if you're going budget on some of the stuff, it's still easily like an extra $150 you got to throw at this. in parts.
Right. So if you're buying everything, $150. But this kind of makes me think of like, but I'm saying like if you already had a lot of these parts, or maybe you went all GFS, like I think you could get this thing up and running for $400, and then you are just a Gun Street wiring shop ad where everybody thinks you're lying when you tell them you got a Gibson Explorer for $400.
Right. Steve is referencing the SG that I had that I got for $250, I think.
$250.
Yeah. It's that sort of deal here. Although that came with pickups and it came with all the hardware. It just wasn't assembled. What would you do with this, Steve? If you came into owning this, how would you load it up?
Hetfield. EMG 85 in the bridge. Call it a day.
Just be done with it. So you'd have to be routing in a battery box somewhere.
Just put it where the pots would be.
So just
wire that direct.
So just straight output.
Yeah.
I like it.
Straight to output.
EMG straight out. I like your style, Steve. I feel like I would try to re-explore the Melody Maker side of this.
Single coil, huh?
Maybe a P90, but maybe a small single coil.
You know what
in the bridge.
You know what could be a cool look on this is one of those lace Illumitones.
People want me to try those.
Really?
Yeah, there's someone who's been commenting that they want me to try those things.
I saw somebody commenting that you should try lace pickups. What was it? Actually, just the
what other pickups do they make?
They make all of their Strat pickups.
I know.
The Clapton ones from back in the day.
But I think if I was going to do a wraparound bridge on this and take it back that direction, I think a P90 and a white pick guard. If I'd try to find either an original pick guard for these or try to have someone cut one for me.
Would you refin?
No, I would leave it this rustic wood. No. Just let it be what it is. Let it age as a plate and stuff. But on another mental adventure here, another direction I could take it is pull those posts if they're not spaced correctly, dowel and re-drill, and then route out a Jazzmaster trim and turn it into a Jazz Explorer.
Oh my gosh.
But then I would probably throw a humbucker in the bridge. And I would let it be a high gain guitar, but with a Jazzmaster trim on it. But I'd still want that. I'd still want that original pickguard on it. I think that original pickguard is such a cool design. But I would still leave it the raw wood. I love the raw wood. I think that's cool. But it's got all the holes from the Bigsby, so it's like, take that wood out, put a trim there.
It's not like those Bigsby holes are big.
They're big Bigsby holes. No, but it's not like this is sacred. It's $333. It's an opportunity to do something dumb. I bet I could fit some sort of little like gold foil pickup in the neck without removing too much wood.
One of those like super thin flat ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe like a mini bucker in the bridge and a gold foil in the neck. That'd be fun.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
A choice.
Just with a volume knob and a switch. That's all it needs. It doesn't need anything else. I don't know. I'm super stoked for whoever bought it.
I think
that's a fun project.
I hope that somebody who watches this show bought it, and if you did, you should send us a picture of what you did. 60cyclehumcast@gmail.com.
They're just going to send us a picture of a pile of ash in their fireplace.
Turns out, I got really frustrated and just lit it on fire.
I got it all set up, and then it turned out the truss rod was broken. It's just like, it's over, you know? So thanks for sending that in, Matt. Maybe you'll win. Maybe Matt will win this time. He didn't win last time, right? Greg won last time. Yeah. Greg Dodd.
And, on that topic, and this is a Melody Maker Explorer, and if you would like to explore your options for supporting this program, besides sending in ads like this, you can head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast, where for as little as $1 a month, at the $1 level, you get the scroll. You can get your name in the scroll at the end of the episode.
And by scroll, he doesn't mean the thing that happens at the end of the episode. He means we actually have a physical scroll That's it's pretty spectacular. We roll it out on the floor and we write your name in blood.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
and
if
it glows.
Or if you are an audio listener, you can get a Patreon exclusive RSS feed that doesn't have the Spotify ads.
Yeah, there you go. There's a perk.
At the $5 level, I've got a little pack of stickers and pics to send you. At the $10 level, you get that same pack plus some Inner Circle exclusive merch. Plus
another perk of the $10 level
a piece of any of the swag I've got.
Another perk of the $10 level is that we like you better than most other people.
Oh, and you get into the Inner Circle Facebook group.
Yeah, that's true too. And then if you want to go beyond that, that's crazy. You can do whatever you want. But yeah, the Patreon funds make things happen around here. It pays the bills. It keeps the lights on. It buys camera lenses. It pays for travel and hotel stays and things like that when we travel for NAMM and other events and stuff. It pays for dinner. We had burritos tonight. I had a huge burrito, and the Patreons paid for that. Thank you for filling our bellies.
Did you finish your burrito?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I'm taking mine home.
Yours was bigger than mine.
No.
Steve's was ridiculous. Mine was like this. Steve was like that. Yeah. It doesn't look like a huge difference. It looks like 10, 15%. But man, it's like that's the difference of like a pound and a half. 10
to 15% in every direction.
Right. Swole. It was a swole burrito.
This episode's also brought to y'all by Stringjoy, crafted in Nashville, Tennessee, played on stages worldwide. I've been seeing Stringjoy strings. There is a guitar Instagram I follow called World of Repairs, world famous Repairland. It's in Indio, California.
All right.
And when they put strings on the guitars that they repair, they are usually putting Stringjoy strings on there. I'm sure, that I think that's their preferred string. If someone just brings in a guitar and says, throw on some strings, they only use the other stuff if by request, but Stringjoy is their go-to.
Well, I can say that Stringjoy has become my go-to, and not just because they pay us money as a podcast sponsorship, but it does help.
No, they're good strings.
No, they're great.
I've got them on 2 guitars. I've got some more at home. I'm going to put a set of Stringjoy strings on this guitar eventually once I get it into like the stage of, I don't want to like put strings on it and then have to.
He's gesturing at a guitar you can't see. It's in a black case. There is the guitar that he showed from last week. Yeah.
So
I put them on everything because and I like them on everything. Like I just restrung my my green Strat the other day, and I was like, oh man, there it is. It feels like a snappy and Stratty all again. It feels good. Like it's not rusty and crusty anymore. I got these smooth orbiters on here, and I like the weight of these 10.5s. Like they're great.
Use the link in description so they know that we sent you. Use the code HUM at checkout to save
10% off.
10%.
Yeah. Huge thanks, Stringjoy. We love you. We love you, Stringjoy.
Okay, bye.
Mwah.
This next ad was sent by Joey Scar. This is just the history repeating itself.
Did he send one last week too?
Yeah. This is a Squier MJT baritone Telecaster 2024 MJT age. What's the Squier? Okay.
It's got a Squier neck.
They want $1,550 for this. Looking for a water slide style Coodercaster baritone telly for a slight discount. Tired of waiting on a water slide guitar to come around? I know I was. So with the help of Eric Chaz and his killer team at Eric's Guitar Shop here in Los Angeles, I built one. Woo! Squier classic vibe baritone neck, better than the subsonic Barry neck IMO, with MJT aged metallic nitro blue body, bender holes pre-drilled and ready for your bender attachments, no bender included. Mojo lap steel pickup, Lawler gold foil pickup, new electronics and hardware, complete setup from the best in the biz. Eric Chaz, and ready to rock 8.2 pounds, reasonable offers, so on and so forth. $1,500. I appreciate that this is so customized.
Yeah.
I appreciate that this has the holes for a bender. Does that mean it's all routed out in the back too?
No, it's not that kind of a bender. It's for like the hip shot behind the bridge sort of one.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I think is actually the traditional way of doing a Coodercaster sort of thing, is to have those palm benders. I think this is very attractive. I love that like temperature cracking in the clear coat over the blue. That MJT body is very pretty. Like I've been on like an appreciating relics kick for a while now, and this is scratching itches for me. I don't know if I'm interested in Coodercasters with that covered pickup and stuff like that, and the gold foil in the neck. I don't know if that's a thing for me. I haven't tried one yet. I imagine probably not, because I like to roll my palm all the way around bridges and stuff like that, and I interact with the strings over the bridge pickups and whatnot. So it's probably not for me. But I like looking at this. It's kind of bold to have a guitar with a Squier neck for $1,500.
Yeah.
But also, I've got a Squier baritone, and that neck feels excellent to me. I have a parts baritone that's in a case behind the wall behind us here that uses a Fender Blacktop baritone Telecaster neck. And I'd say that it's pretty much the exact same thing as what Squier is putting on their baritones. Like, it's the same exact cut. It feels like the exact same qualities. The finish is different. Like, the color of the finish is different. Like, it's more amber on the Blacktop neck that I have. I don't know if they sprayed this one to be more amber, or if there was a run that had a more amber finish on it. I like that they left the Squier logo on here. They're just like, deal with it. It's a Squier neck.
Yeah, that is a good touch.
But I have a feeling that the body, the pickups, the hardware, all that sort of stuff, it adds up to making that price make some sense.
I think it adds up to about $1,000 in parts.
Okay, so they're charging a little bit for labor here.
They're charging for the assembly, whatever routing, if any, was necessary. So
that how much is that custom bridge and pickup plate worth? The
$200.
The Coodercaster rig?
The Mojo. So maybe I read it wrong. That's possible.
Is it just the pickup that is $200, or is it the whole bridge assembly?
Oh, actually, I don't know.
Because I think you're just looking at the pickup.
Is $200. The lap steel with tremolo cut. Does that come with the pickup too?
No, it can't. It's a separate thing.
No, that's the base. It's the base.
So it does come with the pickup?
You can get it cut like this for a trem. Here's Mojo lap steel with telly bridge, 210 pounds.
Wow, I didn't know it was going to be so
let's say
affordable.
that's $250. So that's like
all right.
$1,050. I mean, you still got to get all that install and everything going. But
I feel like this is one of those things where I think they're in the window, but we can't actually say if this is overpriced or not.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm calling the MJT body $400. I'm calling each pickup about $200. I'm calling the Squier neck $200.
Okay.
So that's 600, 400. Yeah. And then, I mean, I guess if you look at miscellaneous pick guard and whatever, that's probably pick guard and
control plate
electronics. Maybe that's another 150. So that would get you to 1,200. Let's call the tuners as part of that too. So
I think the tuners came with the neck.
Oh yeah, they would have.
Yeah,
you're right. So they're asking 1,550. Originally it was 1,750.
They're trying to get some money for their labor and their time, because it's not all parts, and they paid
Telly.
They paid someone to put this together.
I think so. 1,550 was when I just thought this was a kit guitar. This is like one level above a kit guitar.
It would be a kit guitar if they sanded off the headstock and refinished it and put a custom thing on there.
But I was willing, with the MJT body and everything else, to say, like, without looking anything up, I was thinking like 800. Now I'm thinking, if they've already failed to reach their original price of 1,750, they've dropped this down to 1,550. It's been up for 2 months. I think you offer $1,000.
You're probably not wrong.
And probably your buy point is, I think, 12.50.
It already has one offer on it, so you don't know if that's over or under, but you make an offer, you see what happens. Then if you're still itching for it, then you make another offer a month later for $100 more, see what happens.
Let's just do it right now. It's fine.
No.
Since I'm doing it on the show.
Steve, don't buy something on the show.
Since I bought it on the show, I can have the Patreon pay for it.
No. It's a write-off, right?
You
buy it and then you write it off.
Every guitar I buy is a write-off. Are you kidding?
Gosh. Well, yeah.
I mean, it's not. I'm only writing off like it only cuts like a 20% or whatever.
It's appreciated in value.
No, it's not that kind of write off. It's a consumable.
Yeah,
I eat my guitars.
Yeah, I'm having trouble pinning down what it would actually be, because this guy wants some cost for labor covered, because he paid for labor to make this happen. We can look at it and just look at the parts and figure out that it's worth about $1,000. But I don't know. I'm my gut is saying that someone will enthusiastically pay. Oh my gosh, having so much trouble talking today. Enthusiastically pay like $1,200 for this.
Yeah. And just a quick look. I don't know what these are new, but somebody is selling a water slide on Reverb. Well, it looks like maybe a new water slide is about $2,800 when they are available. Right. And because they're not readily available, the used ones look like they list right around the same price point.
What do you guys
even
think?
at $1,500, your MJT bodies are very nice. Squier necks, they're either good or bad. I guess to be fair, I would say that. Like some people would say, there's no way it should be worth that, but I think that's part of that dropping the price $1,300 under what a actual water slide would be.
The neck is worth around $200.
Yeah,
but I'm going to tell you that the playability is totally great and totally fine there on the Squier baritone necks. Like I actually think they're excellent. So it's really a matter of like, if you bought this thing and weren't happy with the pedigree of the neck, then you would be going out and getting yourself, like a some sort of custom made neck or something like that.
And you can even think about this the way, if you want to think about buying a guitar or buying a pedal, people always go like, oh, a Tube Screamer is just, a $5 box with $20 worth of components inside of it or whatever. And if you want to think about that from this way, this is about $1,200 in parts. So even if you're saying like, well, labor has no value because I'm only the owners.
Labor is the only thing that has value, Steve.
only the capital investment from the owner. That's the only thing that's worth anything, not the labor. You think about like, this is put together. This owner says it's a good, right? They said this plays well, right?
They said this is a good guitar. You could buy this guitar and play this guitar.
Complete setup from the best in the biz. That's what they say. So when you think about it that way, it's like, again, to use the pedal analogy, maybe it's the step down of like, the company Build Your Own Clone.
Mm-hmm.
So you can buy their kits like $80 or whatever, and you get all of the parts sent to you. But again, you could buy a PCB from a person who makes clones, like a PCB clones. You could go to Mouser or Tata or whatever your electronics website of choice is, Small Bear, and pick out all of your individual components, take that time, pick it out, buy that. You could do that whole sequence and come out probably with all of the same parts as Build Your Own Clone for like $30, right? But now you've had to do all that picking and choosing and whatever. So it's about like I said, you could build this for $1,200, or you could buy this guitar already assembled, set up, so on and so forth for, honestly, like I said, I think if you offer $1,200, you're going to be in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Or you could just go $1,550 and now you're not thinking about it. Now, maybe you love thinking about it. It's okay. Yeah. Like if you want to buy parts and build a guitar, that's fantastic. If you want to buy a functionally a modular guitar that somebody else put together for you, that's fine too. Fender stayed in business for over 70 years on that model.
Yeah.
Just slapping parts together.
All right. You want to tell us about the next sponsor, Steve?
Well, the next thing actually, Ryan, is what's new.
Oh, what's new?
Do you have anything new?
We got mail.
Oh, we got mail. But while you pull that mail up, we also have this Friday, which I should say this Friday, I believe when this airs should be July 19th. So on July 19th, Philip over at 40 Watt Podcast is dropping his interview of Terry and Angelo from Maris.
Oh, okay, cool.
So of course, we got that pedal as part of a deal with Maris to promote their 10-year anniversary. It's also our 10-year anniversary this year, which is lots of fun.
It was our 10-year anniversary back in January, Steve.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm saying the whole. I'm celebrating. We're celebrating all year long.
We're all celebrating,
except not really, but we're celebrating all year long. So all that being said, go check out that interview with Philip. I'll have the link. I won't have the link up for this episode because it won't be available yet, but maybe I'll edit it and maybe I'll post it around on social media too. So be on the lookout for that.
So what we have here, it doesn't say on
what is going on
the thing who this is from or what it is. It's some sort of a tiki thing. ACME Tiki Company from Denver. We've got ourselves some 3D glasses here, some stickers, a 3D sticker. I'm looking for a note to explain who this is from.
There's a couple pages in here that I guess we're supposed to look at. These are different issues. So issue 1 has a thing in here talking about...
It's like a zine.
That mentions Ed Roth and Kooky Ukes, Ansel Swaggerty. So this is all about a brand called Kooky Ukes, different ukuleles. It's got a 3D glasses thing in it.
Here we go. Ahoy, Ryan! I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel and the unique spin you bring to all your gear review videos. I know you're into reverb trench surf guitar and have a surf punk band called Dinosaur Ghost, so I wanted to share the enclosed swag with you. I published a DIY zine called The Denver Tiki Times for my local tiki scene. Although it's focused on Colorado, there's plenty in here for anyone who digs tiki bars, exotica music, tropical cocktails, and lowbrow art, regardless where you might live. I love all of that. In the spirit of the DIY fanzines you'd find in secondhand record shops in the 80s and 90s, the Denver Tiki Times features interviews, vinyl reviews, tiki history, cocktail recipes, funny horoscopes, and whatever other weird mid-century stuff I can think of. I thought the articles on the history of Swaggerty Kooky Ukes in issue number 1 and Mosrite guitars in issue number 2 might be of interest to you. Thanks again for all the fun videos, and I hope you enjoy the zines. So cool. Aloha and Kungaloosh, whatever that means, from Squeaky Tiki. Everyone go check out ACME Tiki Company, acmetiki.com. There's a shirt here?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Maybe I should put it on right now. It's a large. I don't think it'll fit me once, but then when I wash it, it won't fit anymore. I'll put it on right now.
While you're putting that shirt on, Ryan, I will also say I finally went to the Murrieta Guitar Center. Guitar
How'd
Center,
you like it?
Guitar Center has its work cut out for it to reach its goals of being. It was the smallest Guitar Center I've ever been in. I
went to that once, and like compared to the guitar centers we have down in San Diego proper, yeah, it's real small. It's like a closet. It's
small. It was woefully. So I think they only had like 4 staff people in the entire store. The guitar area, there was a guy, interestingly enough, who was playing a like a Gretsch like jet sort of situation, but he was playing all like 90s grunge metal stuff, so like Alice in Chains and whatever. And I think the wildest thing about it is I went into the bass room because honestly the guy playing guitar was a little intimidating because he was good.
Oh, great. You hate it when that happens.
But beyond that, so I went in the bass room, excuse me, and the only basses that you could reach were the basses that it was the exact thing that people complain about, which is that when you go to a Guitar Center, like the only thing that you can like get your hands on are imports.
Right.
They only had like 3 basses in the bass room they only had 3 Fenders.
Only had 3 Fenders.
Everything else was like Squiers and stuff, and
so they had like 2 P basses and 1 J bass.
Yeah, pretty much. Even like the little Bronco bass was also up high. I couldn't reach it. And I'm a tall guy.
So they had a P bass, a jazz bass, and a Bronco bass.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's rough.
Well, I mean, they like I said, they had like some Sterlings and some other.
Is Murrieta just not, or Menifee just not a base town?
Well, it's Murrieta Guitar Center, but yeah, okay. It was just overall a small store. They had higher end basses out in the guitar space. I think that was because they were like higher end and they wanted to keep an eye on them or something. I don't know. But I ended up playing that. So two things beyond the fact that the only things that you could actually play without asking for help were kind of like more budget oriented instruments. Like I would say, at least in the bass section, like nothing more than probably $650. In the guitar section, like maybe it went up to $1,000, but I played mainly two instruments there. I played a Squier P bass and one of those new PRS. Was it the PRS like Custom 24 SE, whatever? The thing that they just came out with that satin and it's $500 and everyone's oh my God, it's so cool. It's $500. And I will say it played great. It sounded like kind of every other 200 or two humbucker guitar.
Right.
Like,
that's humbuckers for you. They all sound the same.
It wasn't good. I wouldn't say like it sounded good or it sounded bad. I was also playing it through like a Mustang GTX 100 or something.
Sounded excellent then.
So it just sounded like whatever presets I picked. It was fine. It was fine.
It's fine.
I'm not saying it's bad.
It's fine.
But both of these instruments had the same issue where like somebody had like tried to rip the pots off of the thing. So you could turn the knob, but as you were turning it, the pot inside the body was turning at like a different rate. Yeah. And then when you would get to like say 10, it would just like the pots were wobbling.
Oh, I hate that.
And it's one of those things where it's like,
that's a quick fix. Guitar Center employees, that's a quick fix.
We talked about this before with the Guitar Center thing, and this was a perfect example where like, like buy a freaking set of rocket sockets, keep those somewhere in the store.
They don't even need a set. They need like two.
Yeah, I know.
The two most common sizes.
You buy the whole set because buy the whole set. Support QSAC. But the point being that like that just shouldn't be. And I don't know how you. I mean, this was like a ground level.
How many customers were in there?
The whole time I was in there was me. There was the other guy. I saw a couple people looking at like music books, like
they got 4 employees in there. Like I used to when I worked grocery. I hate to sound this way. I hate to sound like a boomer that's like, well, in my day when I had a minimum wage job and blah blah blah, I worked so hard. But when I worked in grocery, like if there was always something to do. There was never not anything to do.
Yeah.
So if there's a couple customers in the store and you're not having to help anyone, you got 4 employees in there, like you start cleaning stuff.
You got time to lean? You got time to clean.
It's like this what you do. It's
I don't really believe in that philosophy, but
neither do I.
But yeah, you're right.
It is a different vibe, grocery versus like a retail environment where you need to be ready for customer service and stuff like that.
For what it's worth, like when I worked retail, we were always cleaning the store because we didn't want to have to stay late.
Right. You clean so you don't have to do it later when the manager's not around. And then you can lean, you know? But like, I just imagine that if I worked in a guitar store, if I knew that a guitar had a loose pot, I'd be waiting for that moment in the day where like, everyone's gone. The lunch rush is over.
Yeah.
Now I can run over there with a knob puller and the rocket socket and just tighten it down real quick.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And maybe that's me assuming maybe it's hard to find the time to do that in that sort of environment.
It felt weird that I picked up I also played one of the Ernie Ball or Sterling by Music Man Stingrays.
Mm-hmm.
I did play one of those as well. But it was weird to me that like 2 out of the 3 instruments I picked up had this like wobbly knob thing that literally is like a 30. And maybe they don't know. And I just put it back on the shelf. I wasn't going to tell them that they need to repair this thing. Also,
but here's what Guitar Center needs to do to fix this particular situation. They need open guitar stands up by the front desk. And they just put up a sign that says, like, if you find a guitar with an issue, leave it here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just put it on the pile.
Just get a couple of those five 5 guitar racks or whatever.
Yeah.
So my other complaint with Murrieta Guitar Center is that the
Steve,
co-host of a moderately successful guitar podcast, went into a Guitar Center and was not recognized by any of the employees.
You didn't get mobbed. No one asked for an autograph?
As a famous person. Very disappointed.
Well, Steve, did you try to play the Forbidden Riff?
I don't know how to play that.
I don't even know what it is anymore.
Is it what? You know what? I was thinking Stairway.
It could be Smoke on the Water. There's a lot of riffs that are forbidden.
Well, so point. Those two are like the classic ones, but I think now the one that I hear a lot is the new forbidden riff is it Are You Mine? Arctic Monkeys.
Oh, okay.
Or is it Do I Want to Know? Do I Want to Know? Yeah, it's Do I Want to that
Oh, yeah. Isn't that shoot.
And you know what the new forbidden riff probably actually is?
What?
Buddy Holly.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's all the little TikTok memes and stuff where the little TikTok videos where they're like playing like Wonderwall, like, and maybe after all you're my wonder. I dropped my pen.
I'm glad that I got to live into a time where a lot of other people are as sick of Weezer as I am. Steve's playing the Jags thing now. There we go.
You just got Weezered.
I just got Weezered. You Weezered me. Thanks for the Weezering, Steve. All right, so what's next? What are we doing now?
That's it.
Sponsor talk?
Show's over. See you guys later. This episode's also brought to you all by Chase Bliss. Ryan has the Onward. Ryan, have you demoed that?
I have not yet. I don't know. Probably not. I'm hoping that by the time I film this, I've had a chance to play it. We record 2 episodes in a row, so I'm in the same place I was last week. I'm happy to have it. I can't wait to explore this thing. The Onward. Keep an eye out for when I start playing around with it.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. You guys, look at this sticker.
Look at the sticker.
You need to go buy a Chase Bliss pedal because everybody needs this classy looking sticker.
Look at the manual. You want something to read late at night when you're laying in bed and your spouse has gone to sleep and you need some reading material. Here you go. You got a manual right here. Yeah, you get the sticker. You get the manual. It comes with a pedal. The pedal is extra. You might get around to using the pedal, but
you need something to distract.
And the manual.
You need something to distract yourself because your spouse is looking at pictures of those guys from Twilight on her phone.
Yeah, just doing vampire research for the novel that your spouse is going to write,
for her fan fiction,
his fan fiction,
his or her fan fiction, or their fan fiction,
her fan fiction. That should be a thing. Is like one book is for her, one book is for him, and then you have to discuss it because it's from different like perspectives of the same story.
That actually,
it's got legs.
They tried to do that basically.
They did.
So the 50 Shades, I think it's 50 Shades.
They did it with 50 Shades.
I don't know if it actually ever came out, but there was supposed to be a book that was like the same as the first book, but from the dude's perspective instead of from because the whole books were written from the woman's perspective. And then I think the author wanted to do the entire series again, but written from the man's perspective. I could be getting that wrong.
I was always under the impression that those weren't very good books.
Well, they're Twilight fan fiction.
So and it was is a lady author, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess we would have gotten a taste of our own medicine. A woman who's not a good author trying to write a man's perspective into a book would have been interesting.
That's a way to think about it.
Because so many times when women are in books, it's because a man is writing a woman into a book and gets a female experience hilariously wrong.
Go to chasebliss.com, buy a pedal. In the comments, tell them that 60 Cycle Hum sent you.
Yeah.
Ryan, hit this topic, my man.
All right, Steve, I'll do it.
Smash it.
Bryce D. Namur asks, if you could create a computer virus that infects digital guitar effects pedals, which pedal would you target and what would your virus do? Hack the pedals.
It would hack the pedals.
Yeah, pedal hacks. with a
like
virus.
Hack the
We're
planet.
gonna make a super pedal virus. I mean, it's gonna have to be a pedal that connects to the internet, right? Or connects to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or whatever for updates. So in my mind, that's multi-effects. There's only so many things that connect that sort of way.
Right.
But a lot of multi-effects, they either connect over Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or just straight USB connections to do firmware updates and things like that. I know there are single-size pedals that do firmware updates as well and do other things. But that's I think a basic prerequisite for this situation. What would you do, Steve? What's your hack?
I think my hack
What's your virus?
It's a virus that just hacks all digital pedals. It's so broad. I feel like it maybe only want us to pick one pedal to hack, but I'm gonna say in that case, it's gonna hack chase plus habit, or
it's gonna hack
like
a habit
or a mood or something. One of these things that does a lot of pitch shifty stuff. Right. But it's gonna be the feline. The virus is going to be called the feline AIDS virus.
Oh my God. It's
going to infect all these pedals and make them all sound like cats.
Okay.
So it's going to be, it's basically going to retain the main characteristics of like the habit or the mood or whatever, pedal.
Sure.
But it's going to when it's doing like the stretching, like the, bit crush stretching thing that those sampling pedals do.
Like, meow, 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 meow.
Yeah. It's just going to be all catted up.
It's gonna be all catted up. So it's what is the name of the pedal that
the cat pedal?
Is this called the cat pedal?
But the meowdulator?
The meowdulator. I've got it. Oh, it's right there behind me.
Right behind you.
The meowdulator. So you're just going to infect everything with the meowdulator code.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
Because, people are already doing this thing where they're like, oh, let's see what the meowdulator sounds like through all these different kinds of effects. And it's like, no, those pedals are now just infected with meowdulator.
Here's my hack, Steve.
What's your hack?
Every digital pedal, when it gets infected with the virus, every time you turn it on or off, or like whatever function switch you have, every time you press it, it randomly scrambles all your settings. So on like just a standard like digital delay pedal that's like programmable or something like that, say like a UA pedal, where you can upload firmware updates and presets and stuff like that. It'll randomly scramble all the settings, select different settings, and every time you turn it on, it's just a different pedal every time. And for like a big multi-effect pedal, like an HX Stomp or something like that, it completely scrambles everything. All your amps, all your cabs, all your effects, every setting for every single thing. It's just a randomizer.
But if it's a multi-effect, then presumably it has banks and it's going to tell you what the names of all that stuff is.
No, that'll be scrambled too. It'll be like random letters everywhere. Like it'll just be super random and unpredictable. You just kind of cross your fingers and hope for something that's workable.
Ryan, describe to me how the random tone generator works. Like not how it, not like electronically how it works, but like explain to the audience what it does. What is its function? What does the rate knob do?
The rate increases how many random notes it makes per second or minute, like
per unit of time.
Yeah, so it's like when it's turned down, it's like boo boo boo. Then you turn it up, and it's like
okay, perfect. That's what I want to know. Virus gets into your digital multi-effects. Could be anything with presets. Now it's got a random tone generator like function in it where instead of just scrambling all your presets so you don't really know what it is, it still has all your presets. But like this thing gets into your HX Stomp and at random intervals, it's just changing your tone. So you're dialed.
So it's a random setting generator.
You got your 2 Princetons dialed in. You're ready to go. And then all of a sudden that virus hits and, you're doing this is where it kind of works for this example, but it doesn't work for all examples. You got your 2 Princetons rig dialed in. You're playing your pipeline,
Yeah,
pipeline.
I'm piping it up.
Is that pipeline?
That's Wipeout.
Wipeout.
Oh wait, no, that is Pipeline.
No, that's Pipeline.
Because Wipeout is da 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 da. Yeah, you're right.
I can't play that one. I'm working on Pipeline.
Oh, good.
Only the beginning part.
Okay.
Not the rest of it. The rest of it's
learn the rhythm part to Apache. Then we can jam.
That one's on my list. because those are fun things. Those
those
songs are a lot of fun on the Maris Mercury X.
I was jamming Apache with Jalen or Jane when I was in Florida.
Oh, cool!
I was like, this is a lot of fun.
That's the rhythm part on that's the dun 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 dun.
But it's like an A minor a chord structure.
So the example there is like you're jamming your pipeline, you're under your two princesses, and all of a sudden this thing kicks in, and boom, out of nowhere, line 6 insane mode.
Yeah.
For like 7 seconds. And then boom, clean jazz mode. And then you're like, wow, this thing seems to be changing every 7 seconds. And then all of a sudden, after you think it's every 7 seconds, but then 2 seconds later, it's
hiccups.
It's Korn.
You get
super drop tune.
Then you get 3 seconds of reverse delay.
Yeah.
And just panning tremolo.
And the thing is these are all just the presets on the HX Stump. So it's switching between things that maybe you reprogrammed your entire HX Stump. So it's going in between all of your personal presets, but it's still really annoying.
Now let's think about what this does to society, the aftermath of this. Like, our entire economy is going to be completely unaffected because this just only affects guitarists, and who cares? We don't have any money. We're not investors. But like, what it will do is it'll breed a whole new genre of noise music.
Oh,
and
man.
People will be like, oh yeah, you can go get yourself a new HX Stomp or whatever, but it's not infected. Like, you're not going to get that infected sound. And you're like, and then like the right units that are infected are going to go for big money because certain units just handle the infection a little bit more musically than others.
Do you remember when people were selling like, I think they were like iPhone 6s with Flappy Bird on it for like $1,000 on eBay?
Be like, I got to finish the game.
Yeah. Oh, I got that. Who wants Flappy Bird? $1,000.
I had the Scott Pilgrim game on my Xbox 360. And there was a couple of years there where no one could get it. It got discontinued. Wow. And I was like, oh man, maybe I should sell my Xbox 360, even though it's like really broken. And you like had to beg the CD tray to open up and stuff. It was in rough condition. I really wore that thing out. I was like, oh man, maybe I could get some extra money for this just because it has Scott Pilgrim on it. And then they came out with a re-release of it for like all the systems, I think. So I was like, well, that's over.
What this would really wreak havoc for is like all of the studios. It would actually improve the economy because all of the studios that had infected digital gear that they didn't want, they'd have to rebuy all of that digital gear. So all of a sudden, all these companies would have this fresh flow of income.
What would happen is it would ruin everyone's trust in digital.
How would
everyone would go back to analog?
How would you prevent your new gear from getting infected? How does the infection spread?
Well, however you connect it to the internet. So, like if you connect it via USB, as long as you don't connect your thing USB, it's going to be fine. If you turn off the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth function, then it'll be fine. But like it's one of those viruses. The way I'm going to do it, because I'm clever, I'm smart. It's a virus that's just going to sit there for about 6 months. Everyone's going to do their updating, do their firmware updating, and it's going to have a clock counting down. And like I'm going to be sitting there in a big leather chair in a dark room surrounded by monitors, watching the clock tick down with a window open to Reddit, a window open to the gear page, a window open to Facebook, a window open, like all of the different gear places, like the Talk Base and like TDPRI and stuff like that.
TDP. Do you spend a lot of time on
all day long
Telecaster discussion?
Yeah. But I'm just going to be everywhere watching the clock go down. And then when it happens, I'm just going to sit there and just bask in the glory of my virus's destruction, of my creation's destructions that lay waste to all the tone across the world.
This is such an evil plan, Ryan.
I'm using guitar for evil.
They call you Dr. Claw. Good morning. How are you? You're Dr. Claw.
I'm not a real claw. I am a real doctor. Hi, John.
And then Inspector Gadget will have to come foil you.
That'd be great. But
the problem is while you're playing the theme song, your presets keep switching. You keep going between Jazz Inspector Gadget, Reverse Delay Inspector Gadget, and Metallica Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Fun little mind experiment, guys.
Ryan, this last ad was sent by Justin Is it Justin?
It's supposed to be Justin.
Justin Shack. Vintage 80s Hamer electric guitar, $1,500. I've never played it. Needs a wee bit of TLC. One of the screws for one of the pickups needs to be replaced, but this 80s rocker deserves to be played in the spotlight. Yes, the rap is Pez rappers.
Pez, Steve.
This, I've called it the Pez guitar. I'm just reading the ad.
I know, he wrote it with 2 E's.
Wait, what is this? What Hamer is
It
this?
is not a Hamer. The reason he's calling it a Hamer is because of this.
Hold on, I'm getting there.
He's got Hamer tuners on it. There's no way this started out as a Hamer. I'd be shocked if this started out as a Hamer.
I just would have assumed it started out as a BC Rich. But
Exactly.
but I'm looking at that. Is this a bolt-on neck? It is not. This is. I don't think this is anything.
It's something.
I don't think this is like a branded thing. I'm saying
It started as something, and now it is what it is. It is trying to do the BC Rich thing. What is that? Is that the bitch?
I think that's the Warlock.
No,
the Warlock is the pointy one. This is the Mockingbird.
BC Rich.
Hey everybody, let's look at our phones. Let's all take a moment and look at our phones.
Why can't I type?
I don't know.
I need to switch to like.
Not a Mockingbird.
Not a Mockingbird. I think it is the bitch. They changed the name on that, didn't they?
Oh yeah, it is the bitch. The rich bitch.
I think that's
or
what
the
this
rich bee, but it used to be called the
I think it started as a bitch. I think they mangled a bitch.
You think that headstock is a bitch?
Okay, let's call it something else. No, because they mangled the headstock as well. Like that's not the original headstock shape. The
headstock's been mangled a couple times.
Yeah, I know. I know. They did it bad once and then they did it bad again and again and again. This is some set neck BC Rich bitch. I know.
It's BICH.
I know.
It's not even saying a bad thing. Oh, these all have the because I want to know what the truss looks like. The truss,
and it's not uncommon for these to be
the reason that I feel like this is fake. But
I mean, it could be a fake too. It could have started as some AliExpress guitar or something like that. But the fact that it's set neck makes me think maybe not. I think you're going to have a tough time finding the exact detail that you're looking for to identify that truss rod. Because there's so many different models and eras of BC Rich that.
But okay, here's another thing that's weird though. Okay, right. Okay, right.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Okay, this is a locking tuner system down here, or some kind of fine adjustment tuner. What the hell is actually going on here? What in the hell?
Yeah, what bridge is that?
What in the hell bridge is that?
What? How much do they want for this?
I am beyond
$1,500. I didn't even look at that when I did the screen grabs. No way. No way. Yeah, right. The only person who's going to be interested in this is someone with a Pez hobby. Because the guitar's not doing it for anybody. I don't care how vintage this is. It's not a Hamer. It has Hamer tuners. It's a bucket of parts. It might have been a BC Rich body at one point, but they cut away the top and lower horns, and they were trying to go for a V shape here. Who knows why they mangled the headstock? They did a bad job of it. It's ugly.
Okay, so I don't know how they work. I have never owned one. This looks like somebody took Floyd Rose style saddles and slapped it onto a vintage trim. And the thing that throws me off about this, and the reason I was and I'm more confused now than I was when I
this is some weird 80s trim. They were trying to get around paying for a Floyd Rose license or a Schaller license or whatever, and they came up with their own thing here. Like the pawn shop market was full of these weird bridges when I was learning to play guitar, like things you'd never find parts for, because this is trying to be a locking bridge and a roller bridge at the same time. It's got the thumb screws at the back, but then it's not actually like it fits in a Strat mount, but it's so it's just some
That's what
mud.
I'm saying. It's got so
just
much
some
going
mud.
on. But the thing is then you look at the neck. What's missing from the neck is any kind of second locking mechanism. It looks like maybe it might have had like the string tree from a Floyd Rose at some point.
Right. I don't know.
I'm beyond confused now.
No, the whole thing's a mutt. But they can't replace the neck. So, like, I don't think it originally had this bridge. I think this is an aftermarket.
I'm also just
But also the bridge is just meant to function as a Strat bridge, really. Like, I don't think it really matters if it's locking or not. Because it's not even a floater. It lies flat on the body. $1,500. No way. Description: I've never played it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no
great.
kidding.
Yeah, that's why you don't know what it's worth. You don't even know if this is a guitar or not.
I really think this is like some kind of import copy of a BC Rich.
It could be like some sort of, like 1980s or 1990s, like Memphis or
because the other thing that's going on here is most of the BC Riches during this time
some sort of weird Hondo copy
seeing, had like fancy inlays. There's a few that have the dots, but most of them had.
I don't know. There's been
inlays.
So many different BC Rich lines.
I'm only looking at 80s ones.
I know. We don't even know how old this is.
$1,500. Okay, Ryan, what price point are you interested in this? The classic question.
Too many zeros.
Yeah, $15. I agree.
Right, $15. We don't know if any parts on this are worth anything at all. Like, we don't know anything about this. Like, legitimately, I think the only people who are going to be interested are Pez collectors. And it might be because there's like a rare wrapper on there or something like that.
Oh, they made peppermint Pez?
That was the original Pez.
That's the wrapper.
Why do I know that?
I don't know.
The original Pez was mint. It wasn't like candy, fruity candies. It was mint. It was mints. It was meant to be
like a Tic Tac sort of a thing.
It was basically meant to be a vape.
It was meant to be a vape.
It was meant to be a smoking alternative for people.
Really?
It was meant to be like a oral fixation sort of thing.
I did not know that.
So you would use it to like pop mints in your mouth and have a device to do that,
Ryan, it's that time.
Here we go. This Pez thing's pissing me off.
I'm voting Pez, by the way.
I really like that Melody Maker Explorer.
All right. Get that wheel.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the Melody Maker.
All right.
And you're going Pez.
I'm going Pez. I'm Pezzed off.
Let's get it on the spin part.
I'm going to spin.
Give it a shot, Steve. Get a good spin. There we go.
Stereo. Except we posted mono.
Who's it going to be?
Who's it gonna be?
Oh, yeah, buddy. Melody Maker gets it.
Right.
Congratulations, Matt Carnevale. Has he won before? He has to have won before.
Matt's won a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Matt's like the runner-up.
Because he probably uses the Dave Santander system.
Yeah. Vote early, vote often.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are going to play the song now. This song was sent by Davey K. He says, more music for the show. Hey, guys, I enjoy the show and wanted to send you a track from our band. The song is called Escape from the Morgue. The band is called DK and the Mudersheets. Check out that logo.
Wow,
that's
cool logo. Is that in the email?
That's in the email.
I'll put the logo up. Editing Ryan, put the logo up.
Up in the morgue, feeling so damn tempted. Thought I lost it all, maybe you took your hand. You saw me laying there and you gave me a second chance. We took off in the night and we started a wild romance. Escaping the morgue with you by my side. I never felt so alive. We ran through the streets as fast as we could. We were on top of the world and it never felt so good. no plan, just a crazy desire to live our lives on the edge and never to retire. We burned down the bridges and we tore up the town. We were rebels without a cause and we never backed down. Escaping the morgue with you by my side. I never felt so alive. We ran through the streets as fast as we could. We were on top of the world and it never felt so good. Some say we're crazy, but we don't give a damn. We live our lives to the fullest and we'll stick to our plan. We'll never look back or regret what we've done. We were the outlaws of love and we're having so much fun. Escaping the morgue with you by my side. I never felt so alive. We ran through the streets as fast as we could. We were on top of the world and never felt so good. Look back, stay on attack. Nothing to lose. The best thing we could choose.
There's a melody in there that's just reminding me of a song, and I think it was on the Dumb and Dumber soundtrack. Dun, 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 da, 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 da. I'm looking. I don't know what song it is. Guys, tell me what song I was hearing in that. What do you think of the song, Steve?
I liked it. I actually was getting kind of like Cure meets REM vibes.
All right.
That makes sense.
I mean, I'm hearing the pop punk elements of it way over anything else that you were hearing.
Well, I mean, I think kind of like the reverberyness of it kind of gave me like this Curious thing. There's definitely also a lot of pop punk elements to it.
Obviously.
I think the multi-vocal is kind of what made me think of REM. Nothing vocally like the Cure in there.
No.
But overall,
I don't know why you're saying the Cure at all.
I think because the guitar part is like a pop punk version of the love song riff.
Okay, maybe.
Huh.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks for sending it.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Stay grounded.
Stay on it.